Hello, this is the Watchdog, and welcome back to Fun with Watches. If watches weren't fun, you'd only need one. Today we're going to review the Cadisen 8232 Aqua Diver. The wrist check, I'm wearing this Amimo Design 9067, and Greg was wearing my Duca V2150. Grogu told Master Skywalker that he heard Ben Solo tell another student that he was going to join the Knights of Ren. When Master Skywalker confronted him, he said that Grogu got it all wrong. It was not the Knights of Ren, it was the Knights who say Ren. They're a very silly bunch. Alright, let's take a look at the watch. It comes in this usual Cadisen box, they all do. And here it is. Isn't that a fantastic looking watch? And sure enough, every time I do a review, the hands are in the way. All right, now let's take a look at it. Isn't that a fantastic looking watch? I really like it. I'm so pleased with this watch. This is yet another Cadisen on my channel. This is an homage to the Helm Komodo and looks quite a bit like the original watch. Some people who have no problem when Chinese watch companies homage a $10,000 Rolex that most people can't afford, draw the line when they homage micro brands that are not too expensive. If you have an issue with it, then you're probably not watching this review. Apparently, Helm keeps production low and there's always a waiting list, and many are selling the $300 Helm for $500. So I'll just add that rationale to my cognitive dissonance. Besides lack of originality, another thing you're missing from this Cadisen is ISO 6425 certification, as there is no apostrophe S on the word diver on the dial. Cadisen also is more than likely to have a Miyota, but this one has the sub-$100 watch favorite, the NH35. This watch, just like the helmet, is homaging, comes in 3 different colorways. If you don't like the black dial with the orange minute hand that I chose, there's also a white dial with black bezel and teal blue hands and markers. There is also an orange dial with black bezel and white hands and markers. The watch is 39.8 millimeters at the bezel, 45.9 millimeters lug to lug with inverted end links. So the lug to lug is really short for a 40 millimeter watch. It's only 12.1 millimeters thick because this one has a flat crystal. The helm actually has a dome crystal. And it has a 20 millimeter lug width with no taper at all. It's still 20 millimeters at the clasp. And it weighs 158 grams on the supplied bracelet with 2 links removed. Yes, I only removed 2, so the bracelet's kind of short. The bezel's black ceramic. It's 120 click unidirectional. And the action feels really good. The clicks are nice, but it's really light action. And I end up knocking it out of place quite a bit. I wish it was just a bit stiffer. But it feels great. No back play. And it's a really nice looking bezel too. And it's got some serious good coin edge there, so you can get a good grip. Then we have the dial. The dial is a black with no sunburst effect, and it's a really deep black. I like that black. Then there's a Rehat chapter ring with minute markers and numbers at the 5s. And then we have the indices. We have an upside down triangle at the 12, dots at the 3 and the 9, and smaller dots everywhere else. Then it says Cadisen up top. Then it says Aqua Diver Automatic on the bottom. Then we have the hands. The minute hand is a really big minute hand, and it's sectored, and it's orange. This is the only one that has a different colored minute hand of the 3 different colorways. And then we have a matching hour hand that is not orange. And then we have the second hand, and the second hand does have a little loom triangle there, but it's not very good. And then we have an orange end also. And then we have a date at the 6 and no cyclops. You don't need a cyclops. The date's plenty big. You can see it easily enough. And I like the date. I think they did a good job with it. Then we have a signed screw down crown. And the thread action is just fine. Unscrews nice and easy, pops nicely. Then when you go to screw it back down, it catches right away. Not a lot of thread resistance. But as you can see, just screwing it in though, I knocked the bezel out of place, because that's how light the action is. So that's not good. Then we have the crystal. The crystal is flat, it's sapphire, and it has AR coating. It does a really good job of not reflecting, and I tested it just to be sure, and it did test sapphire. Then we have the case. I love this case. It's nice and short. For a 40mm watch, it looks more like a 38. And it has inverted end links too, so it wears nice and short, and it's brushed. It's really nice brushwork. And it has a crown guard that actually protects the crown but doesn't get in the way. So really like the case. Then we have the case back. We have the Cadisen logo in the middle. Then it says water resistant 10 ATM because you only get 100 meters here. This is just a dive style watch. It's not actually a dive watch. Then we have the model number, the 8232. This says 8232G on the case back, but if you look at the copy of the AliExpress ad, it says 8232M. I don't think it makes a difference though. And that says all stainless steel, sapphire, crystal. And it doesn't have a coin edge. It has these little slots for a wrench, and I like that too. And also they did a good job of making sure the case back wasn't too thick, which keeps the watch nice and thin. 12.1 millimeters is pretty good for an NH35 powered dive watch. Underneath the case back is the NH35 movement. This is a 24 joule 3 hertz movement that hand winds hacks, has a bidirectional rotor, about a 40-hour power reserve, and is usually fairly accurate right off the shelf. But we'll go ahead and put it on the time grapher. We can see if Cadisen did any regulation on it. The last Cadisen I did was really accurate, but that was a Miota 8215. Here it is on the time grapher. As you can see, it's running about 5 seconds fast, which isn't bad at all. It's always preferable that a hacking movement runs fast and not slow. Amplitude's a little low, and there's 0.1 milliseconds of beat error, so we have a little bit of beat error, but still running very good, so I'm pleased with it. The bracelet is a 3-link, and it's fully brushed, and it looks nice, has solid inverted end links, and we have push pin adjusters, not screw pins, and I'm perfectly happy with push pins. They come out nice and easy, and it makes adjusting the watch fairly easy. The clasp though is a real disappointment. It is a milled scissor, but it has a pressed upper, and it's really short, and there's only 2 holes to micro adjust. So I would definitely recommend getting a new clasp for it. Once again, this is a 20mm at the clasp. It doesn't taper at all. Plus, I only removed 2 links on the bracelet, so you might need to make this bracelet longer. So a new clasp would be a lot longer and maybe give you some extra length. Here's the watch on my 7.5-inch wrist. That looks and wears nice. I really like this watch. I really enjoyed wearing this watch. Has a good wrist presence, good wrist roll, super comfortable, nice short case with short lug to lug. 158 grams is getting there in weight, but still, since it doesn't taper, it's nice and balanced. Doesn't feel top heavy at all. Here we are in the loom room, just wearing the watch for review purposes. I knew it had great hand loom, so let's see if the indices keep up. As we speed up the time, we see the blue glow of BGW9 and everything starts out great. However, the indices and the loom pip are not near as strong as the hands, and everything begins to fade. However, for weak loom, the indices aren't doing too bad, and since the hands are still going strong and it is the hands that matter, I will rate this loom as excellent. What I like about this watch, the looks and the wearability. And it has a very nicely brushed short case with inverted end links, and it has excellent hand loom. What are my gripes and groans? Even though the bezel action feels great, it's too light, and I knock the bezel out of place often, especially when I use the crown. The clasp is too short and only has 2 holes to micro adjust, plus the upper is cheaply pressed. And the bracelet's too short. I only removed 2 links. Do I recommend this watch? Yes, this has probably been my favorite Cadisen ever. I thoroughly enjoyed wearing this watch. I'll be sad to see it go, but happy to know somebody else will be able to wear this gem. Well, thank you for watching my review of the Cadisen C8232 M, or is it G? And I will be back with another review or unboxing. Be sure and like and subscribe to my channel. And if you like this watch, be sure to use my affiliate link and I'll get a tiny commission, but those do add up. Bye.